I was just thinking about all the wonderful home run celebrations that have proliferated in baseball of late. I just can't imagine something more fun and interesting and organic. What about you, Grant?
Well, I'm just going to pass it to Andy. Andy, how are you doing?
You know what's funny is the way Mark's intonation worked there. People are going to think that he is the one who hates the home run celebrations.
Well, I think
because he's just so aggro. Even when he's doing when he's trying to set me up, he sounds like he's the cranky old man. When in fact, it is I, the only member of this podcast still in his 30s.
Well, here's the thing. Let me just explain how the sausage is made for the Roundtable heads. We were planning on starting with how terrible the White Sox are, or talking maybe about the baseball game in Mexico City. But before we started recording, Mark and Andy started yelling at each other. They were just already yelling at each other. And I'm in the middle going, save for the pod, save for the pod. So we just have to start because we got some fire going here. Andy hates home run celebrations. He is the old man yelling at a cloud. Yeah. Good. Explain. So the big hats, the funny medals, the vests, the hey. You don't like any of that stuff?
I loved the big hat. Okay. The big hat gets me every time. And it's very frustrating that Major League Baseball's sponsorship with New Era prevents us from having the big hat. New Era should make a big hat. I would buy a big hat. Finally, Carig would have a hat that fits his head. Think about look at all the hats behind Carig. None of those fit. They're decorative. He can't get those over his, 8.5 noggin.
But here's the thing. New Era has made a big hat. And they've given... Yeah, Bruce Bochy wears it. You just can't tell.
I was going to say, you know what? First of all, Andy boy, George King wants his bit back. All right. That's one. Right. Number two, that's to me, that's the copyright infringement that I'm kind of worried about. Why aren't the Texas Rangers just taking Bochy's hat off and passing it around when they go back to the dugout after hitting a dinger? Anyway, go on, Grant, Andy. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Just Grant, real quick for you. Would you rather have $1 million or Carig's head full of nickels?
There it is. George King. George King.
Can it actually be well, I don't even know the question. $1 million?
Okay, well, I'm just saying that you could fit a lot of nickels in his head.
Oh, I get it.
Get it? Because my head's big. Man.
I have a huge head too. Look at this. I look like no one can see this if you're listening. For the people watching, I look more and more like Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day every day. Just every day I wake up and I'm like, bing.
I didn't want to say it. That was like a bridge too far for me, but hot damn, you look like Ned Ryerson.
Yeah, Ned the head.
All right, so tell me about the home run celebrations you actually hate.
Look, man, it's frustrating. I feel like I am crossing a Rubicon in aging. I didn't care about bat flips, let the kids play, all that stuff. It's great. I love it. I love, fun, celebration, authentic stuff. When it gets into arts and crafts, I just start to get, I don't know. I don't like myself that I react this way. I really don't. I'm mad at myself. I saw the Minnesota Twins, who are playing really good baseball and, should be this heartwarming story. And I see them put on a fishing jacket that says, land of 1,000 rakes. And my head explodes. And I just feel so old and I feel so tired. And I don't know. It just really, it's not that I hate fun, Brian. Stop saying that. I love fun. It's just that I worry that what I feel is fun is so far removed from what the youth think is fun. I'm not on TikTok. I don't know. Why?
All right. Well, here's the thing. All right. First off, Land of 1,000 Rakes. Good pun, but it makes me think of Sideshow Bob, right? That's the problem with that one. That's just Sideshow Bob stepping on rings. But second, let me set the story. Let me set a scene for you. Young Grant Brisbee in the bleachers of Oracle Park, then known as Pac-Bell Park, in 2000. Giants had a miserable start to the year. They start winning and winning and winning throughout the summer, and they eventually finish with the best record in baseball. During that summer, when the Giants would win, a song would come on afterwards. It was a song, and the whole crowd would start going, yeah, and they'd get into the song. And that song was, "Who let the dogs out?" Like, it's terrible, objectively terrible. This is kind of before every team started doing it, the hipster Baja Boy stuff. But it was fun. It was not for you. It was for the idiots who are just like celebrating. And so if the Twins fans want to, hey, they got the vest on, that's for them.
It's more, what it strikes me as, like, there was the home run jacket last year, right? Which John Schneider apparently took away from the Blue Jays because he wanted them to celebrate more than home runs, which is like supremo hardo move, like manager of the year. I may start voting again just so I can put John Schneider at all 3 manager of the year spots in the American League. If they gave me a National League manager of the year, I would vote for John Schneider just because I love baseball hard ass stuff. That's what I think is fun. And that's why I feel like I'm so far removed now. But so just to be clear, it's like everyone's got to have a thing, right? So like, Shohei Ohtani, they've got the Kabuto with the Angels. The 4th place Mariners have a trident. The Royals have a gladiator helmet. The Orioles appear to be beer bonging water, which is like good for them. It also seems insane. It's just the ubiquity of it. It feels, I don't know. It's got a Players Weekend vibe to me.
Ooh,
that's what I think.
That's damning. That's damning.
I know. Again, I'm the villain here.
But do you remember some teams still do this, but there was a time in the early mid 10s where every team, when they had a player get to second base, they do I'm the elephant or something like that. Do this.
Do that.
The Rangers, they had the claw and antlers or something in 2010, but then in 2011 they switched it up and they were the Cobra, and it's but again, they're empty calories, but not in a bad way. They're just a bag of Cool Ranch chips. They're not going to kill you. They're just going to taste good while they're going down that MSG. But it's not. I'm not offended by any of it.
Andy just wants this to be those days where, and you wrote about this, where Doc Ellis is like, I'm going to plunk every guy that comes to the plate today. It was one of my favorite stories you've ever written, right? That was so great because everyone knows the other thing that Doc did.
Yeah.
And then he went and did it. He went and smoked every dude that stepped in the box.
What's funny about that is he bet Kurt Bavacqua in spring training, hey, I bet you a steak that I'm going to hit every red the first time I faced him. And like 2 months later, he drills 6 reds in a row and then comes out and says, you owe me a steak. I mean, that to me,
now that's fun.
That's fun.
That's good family fun. I like the home run things.
I know.
I think it's funny. I think the one I will say, when it starts to become like sponsored, like the Blue Jays jacket, that's when it's like, that feels a little bit tired. But until then, right? Like, okay, the samurai helmet, come on. How can you slam the samurai helmet? Those guys are trying to have a little fun. Like they got creative with it. Sure, it's arts and crafts time. Okay, that's okay. I get that. But at least they're having fun with it. At least
what's
creative.
Fun, Mark? You know what's fun? Throwing strike one. You know what's fun? Getting the runner in from third with a ground out. That's fun.
Over and in, damn it.
You know what's fun? Is going first to third.
Attaboy.
I want a first to third jacket. If you go first to third, you should have to wear the big hat on third base. They should give you the big hat because everyone knows, hey, that guy is doing stuff to inflate our winning percentage.
Oh my God, Andy.
Andy believes in the sweet spot, softcore pornography, opening your presents Christmas morning rather than Christmas Eve, and he believes in low, long, deep, soft kisses. That's where he's going with this.
Holy cow.
I don't know where that came from.
Yeah,
Bull Durham. That's the Bull Durham monologue.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyway, I know I'm wrong. Like I'm wrong. Like I'm like, I'm willing to admit I am confident enough in my own stupidity that I know I'm wrong. I just whatever. We have this podcast. I couldn't imagine like writing this. Could you imagine if I wrote like 1,000 words? It'd be like the stupidest thing ever.
Speaking of which, I need a 20-second editor timeout real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Let's
The
do
answer is
some real time workshopping right now. Okay. Are enough teams doing something like this to do an all 30 on it?
they will be in like 10 days. Because it's one of the, it's like, the Royals have a gladiator helmet now.
Because it's
And, like,
spreading. Right.
Yeah, and I don't want to be rude to the Royals, but they've won 7 games and it's May. Like, they're not a team that hits a lot of home runs, right? Like, everyone just wants to do something to be part, the only team not doing something will probably be like the Mets and the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Well, look, I like the A celebration where they hand him a bus ticket out of Oakland. It's pretty cool. Hey, Brent Rooker, enjoy, start packing, buddy.
If you hit a home run, they hand you a bus ticket and a team friendly contract offer from Alex Anthopoulos.